Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I really don't want to have happen because Democrats are morally superior liberals. They're such wonderful people. They derive so much political momentum from President Trump on Twitter. So, you might disagree with me. I know you will. Give me your thoughts below. But I think that Trump getting back on Twitter is the worst thing possible. I was going to do a live stream. I'll probably do a live stream on this tomorrow. Be here for my live streams at 6:30, 7:30 p.m. every evening. We have the most amazing chat, the most amazing people in the chat room. They're awesome. We have a great time. So be here at 6:30 or 7:30 p.m. Pacific tomorrow evening. The question, though, is, do you think Trump should be back on Twitter? Give me your thoughts below. He's very likely going to be reinstated, or he's, I should say, working to get reinstated. Trump seeks reinstatement of Twitter account in court filing. Trump asks Florida judge to force Twitter to restart his account. Trump asks Florida judge to force Twitter. So this is Reuters, Bloomberg. I'll put the links below. But it's probably the worst thing that could happen to President Trump. And I am a big supporter, I think that Trump is, when you judge him by when you judge Trump, Donald J. Trump, President Trump, using the standards you judge every other president. We had record low unemployment. We had record low black and Latino unemployment. We had the Doha Agreement, which Biden completely botched. And that was a foreign policy catastrophe because of Biden. And I've spoken about that endlessly. The Doha Agreement said evacuate January, February, March, April. Be out by May 1st. Do not leave $28 to $60 billion in weaponry. Certainly don't use the T-ban as security or give them names of Americans. Biden did everything possible to do the opposite of what would be logical and reasonable and rational. We had 13 Americans who lost their lives and 169 Afghans who lost their lives directly because of Biden. Because he wanted to spite Trump, and he did so, and what he did was spite Trump, and people lost their lives. But anyway, we had the Doha Agreement. It was Trump who reversed U.S. foreign policy. That's exactly why I voted for President Trump. It was a moral imperative to vote for President Trump if you were more of an anti-war voter. If you care about endless wars and you voted for Biden, you're a fool. And you know nothing about history. Biden voted to get us there. He didn't even want to get us out. And the Lincoln Project and Bernie Sanders are voting for the same people. So there you go. But hit subscribe to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. That is below in the pinned comment. There will be a stock market crash, and I explain in every segment. I just finished my third segment of the day on the Stock Market Crash channel. We have record highs in margin debt, an all-time high in margin debt. We have margin debt as a percentage of GDP at a higher percentage than 2008 and 2000. We have derivatives that are completely unregulated that Warren and AOC and Bernie Sanders are clueless about. They don't care at all, yet they're going to pontificate and talk about wealth inequality when everything tanks. Archegos, the hedge fund that went under, was able to purchase tens of billions of dollars in risky derivatives that were private contracts that aren't regulated. There's no exchange. The SEC doesn't know how much debt these hedge funds have. We have a housing bubble. We have an all-time high in commodity prices, lumber. It's like we have, 60 ships outside of Long Beach, California, waiting to dock. We have supply chain bottlenecks, shortages, labor shortages, with jobless claims up. We can go on forever. The economy, the stock market does not reflect the dire economic indicators. Inflation is at a high not seen in decades, a certain index of inflation we found out today. The market went up. Why? Because of the most absurd reason I won't even get into. A quote-unquote reckoning is coming, unfortunately. The Democrats and media love to use the word reckoning. Well, a financial reckoning is coming, unfortunately. Again, though, save your money. I urge everyone to open up a savings account. If you made profits in stocks, just take a little bit off the top or a lot off the top and take some profits and save the money. You say, well, inflation. Yeah, but you know what? Unfortunately, businesses are going to continue to go out of business. Things will be half off. So you can, the inflation is not going to hit your savings in the way that it's hitting businesses. Save your money for a rainy day. You might need it. And I'm urging all my viewers to do that. But President Trump, you have to understand something. I keep on doing this little, skit or performance every live stream. And this is what the reality is. Trump's Twitter account is the basis for all the absurd moral equivalencies or the absurd defenses of Democratic corruption, or how inept Biden is, how irresponsible, irrational, and incompetent his administration is on pretty much every issue. So if he's on Twitter, he gives Democrats political momentum. He gives them political momentum. Democrats have zero political momentum now. But if they can look and they can say, look what Trump said, look what Trump said, look what Trump said, you could have a financial collapse, ICBMs descending from above, Halley's Comet being redirected towards Earth, a whole bunch of people jumping on your car in a Democratic-run city, using it for a bathroom, the check engine light on the car going on, the tire light, you hit some spikes and the tire light goes on, and on your Robinhood app, you owe more money than you have because of margin, and don't use the Robinhood app or any mobile apps. Those are recipes for disaster. But anyway, I explained that on the Stock Market Crash channel. You can have all of this, and your morally superior liberal significant other or friend will say, at least Trump isn't tweeting. Bring it on. Halley's Comet, the ICBMs, everything. Bring it on. Their lives, you understand, the neuroses are profound. Their lives revolve around Trump's personality. They don't care about anything else. They don't have Trump's personality omnipresent now in their faces. He's not on Twitter. He wants to get back on Twitter. I get it. I understand. But we already know he's the alternative to Biden. We already know that. And what he's doing right now is actually really good. He's speaking to his voters, 73 million Americans, through his website. I'm sure you get the emails too. I get the emails. And he should be going on Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool and Brandon Tatum, and he should be going on YouTube channels, and he should be creative. He should be speaking to 73 million Americans who vote for him in a creative manner that circumvents social media algorithms. He can still do that. He gets on Twitter, they can say, oh my God, he caused this crisis and this problem and this. They're just waiting to set him up and trap him. Last year was a social media trap. If he had just gotten off Twitter, he would very likely be in the Oval Office. So I know that people say, oh, you know what, you're wrong. I like his personality. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I want President Trump to become president again. You look at record low unemployment, hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs. We had wage increases. We had tariffs against China that helped unions, by the way, that unions wanted, that steel CEOs wanted, that might not have given short-term gratification, but were needed long-term. And guess what? Biden continued them. He was the first president to step foot in North Korea. President Moon Jae-in stated of South Korea that he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize, Trump. So, you look at him in aggregate, what he was doing was very good. Only president to sign an executive order combating anti-Semitism running rampant on college campuses. So, allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, and made the funding permanent. He was a great president. He didn't work with Russia. He didn't pressure Zelensky. All of these things, again, involve the neuroses and the apoplectic, hysterical reaction of Democrats to Trump winning. The FBI cleared him completely of January. They can't indict him or charge him for taxes, January, Russia, nothing. They have nothing on him. The only thing they have is indignation. Indignation is political momentum for Democrats. I don't think Trump should be back on Twitter because I want Trump back in the Oval Office. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Go to my Stock Market Crash channel. and subscribe there. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.